Once upon a time, there was a widow who had 2 daughters. One of them was ugly and lazy. The other was beautiful and industrious. The mother, however, loved the ugly and lazy one best, because she was her own daughter. And so the other, who was her stepdaughter, was made to do all the work of the house, and was quite the Cinderella of the family. Her stepmother sent her out every day to sit by the well near the high road. There she was to spin until she made her fingers bleed. Now it chanced one day that some blood fell onto the spindle, and as the girl leaned over the well to wash it off, the spindle suddenly sprang out of her hand and fell into the water. The poor girl ran home, crying to tell her misfortune. But her stepmother spoke harshly to her, and after giving her a violent scolding, said unkindly, "As you have let the spindle fall into the well, you may go yourself and fetch it out." The girl went back to the well, not knowing what to do. And at last, in her distress and unhappiness, she jumped into the water after the spindle. She remembered nothing more until she awoke and found herself in a beautiful meadow, full of sunshine and with countless flowers blooming in every direction. And she walked over the meadow, and presently she came upon a baker's oven full of bread. And all the loaves cried out to her, take us out, or alas, we shall burn to cinders. We were baked through long ago." So she took them all out, one by one. Then she went on a little further until she came to a tree full of apples. Shake me, I pray," cried the tree. "My apples, one and all, are ripe." So she shook the tree, and the apples came falling down upon her like rain. She continued shaking them until they were nearly all fallen down. Then she carefully gathered them together, all the apples in a heap. And then she walked on again over the meadow. And And the next thing she came to was a house. And there she saw an old woman looking out with such large teeth that she was terrified and turned to run away. But the old woman called after her, "What are you afraid of, dear child? Stay with me. If you will do the work of my house properly for me, I will make you very happy. You must be very careful, however, to make my bed in the right way, for I wish you always to shake it thoroughly, so that the feathers fly about. Then they say down there in the world that it is snowing, for I am Mother Holle." The old woman spoke so kindly that the girl summoned up all her courage and agreed to enter into her service. She took care to do all the work according to the old woman's bidding. And every time she made the bed, she shook it with all her might, so that the feathers flew about like so many snowflakes. The old woman was very pleased, and she was as good as her word. She never spoke angrily to her, and gave her lots of good food every day. And so she stayed on with Mother Holle for some time. But then she began to grow unhappy. She could not at first tell why she felt sad, but she became aware at last of a great longing to go home to her family. And then she knew she was homesick. Although she was 1,000 times better off with Mother Holle than with her mother and sister. So after a while, she went to Mother Holle and said, "I am so homesick that I cannot stay with you any longer. For although I am so happy here, I must return to my own people and my own family." Then Mother Holle said, "I am pleased that you should want to go back to your own people. And as you have served me so well and so faithfully, I will take you home myself." Thereupon she led the girl to a broad gateway, and the gate was open, and as the girl passed through, a shower of gold fell upon her. And the gold clung to her, so that she was covered with it from head to foot. "That is a reward for your hard work," said Mother Holle. And as she spoke, she handed her the spindle, which the girl had dropped into the well. Then the gate was closed. girl found herself back in the old world, close to her mother's house. And as she entered the courtyard, the cock who perched near the well called out, "Cock-a-doodle-doo! Your golden daughters come home to you." Then she went in to her mother and sister, and as she was so richly covered with gold, they gave her a warm welcome. And she told to them all that had happened. And when the mother heard how she had come by her great riches, she thought she would like her ugly, lazy daughter to go and try her fortune. So she made the sister go and sit by the well and spin. But the girl thrust her hand into a thorn bush so she could prick her finger. And a drop of blood fell onto the spindle. Then she threw the spindle into the well and jumped in after her herself. And like her sister, she awoke in the beautiful meadows. And she walked over the meadow until she came to the oven. "Take us out, or alas, we shall burn to cinders. We are baked through long ago," cried the loaves as before. But the lazy girl answered, "Do you think I am going to dirty my hands for you?" And she walked on. Presently she came to the apple tree. Shake me, I pray. My apples, one and all, are ripe," it cried. But she only answered, "A nice thing to ask me to do. One of the apples might fall on my head." And she passed by. And at last she came to Mother Holle's house. And as she had heard all about the large teeth from her sister, she was not afraid of them, and engaged herself without delay to the old woman to work for her. And the first day she was very obedient and industrious, and exerted herself to please Mother Holle, because she thought of the gold she should get in return. But the next day, however, she began to dawdle and be lazy over her work. And the third day she was more idle still. And then she began to lie down in bed in the mornings, and she refused to get up. And worse still, she neglected to make the old woman's bed properly, and forgot to shake it so that the feathers might fly about. So Mother Holle very soon got tired of her. She went to the girl and told her she might go. But the lazy girl was delighted at this, and thought to herself, "The gold will soon be mine." Mother Holle led her, as she had led her sister, to the broad gateway. But as she was passing through, in instead of the shower of gold, a great bucket full of pitch came pouring over her. "That is in return for your services," said the old woman, and she shut the gate. So the lazy girl had to go home covered with black pitch. And the cock on the well called out as she saw her, "Cock-a-doodle-doo! Your dirty daughters come back to you." And try as she might, the girl could not get the pitch off, and it stuck to her